serious thing.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Albert Smiling Faces podcast. And once again, 2 weeks in a row, Deka's got something to say to you.
We won you now.
And we're safe you now.
We're safe you now.
No party for us this week.
Being safe for weeks, man.
When you just open that can, because that's really annoying. That was even worse. It's going.
There's a snake.
I thought it was fun.
There's a snake in my boots.
Was coming in. Rattlesnake.
That'll do, like.
But yeah, we're safe. You're not mathematically safe now. Not in our heads safe. Mathematically safe.
Being safe, man.
You got a few comments last week about your bullshit statement.
What was safe?
Did anyone else see those comments?
Was that right?
Saying, no, you weren't.
Was right? Was safe?
No, that's not what you said. You did say you were safe. You said, well, 100% safe because...
Where?
No, you said mathematically last week because of Brighton and Huddersfield had to play each other.
I thought,
Then like 2 days later, they played each other. We still weren't safe.
Yeah.
But would it be? No, because even if we'd lost all of our games and they'd won, they would have to like score 300 goals or something like that.
Nah, that's not how it was working. They just had to score more. Like, just have
but
more
that wasn't
points than
gonna
us.
happen.
Nothing to do with goal difference. So,
Still
Southampton weekend, side
Crystal Palace.
unchanged again.
Yeah, Mankiw.
So Mankiw stayed, and we all said that we would expect Yedlin to be in there.
No, I think we did
say
say that
any
it'll
changes would
probably
be
stay the
Yedlin.
same, but if there was, it would be Edlin.
He hasn't done anything wrong, has he?
We expected
Nah.
Dummett to go in. It left centre back.
Which was a good choice, but we'll get on him a bit later.
Wasn't I?
So, start of the game, going into the game, prediction wise, we all had
Yeah, we all had wins.
Win 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. At the start of the game, you could see the goals coming, couldn't you? It was just attacking non-stop.
We just started off on the front foot from the kick-off. We just really got at them and went for it. And they just couldn't cope with how direct we were being and how offensive we were being. Probably just I don't know whether they just weren't expecting it or what, but we just battered them.
I found I love it when we don't do it very often, but you know when we'll win the ball in their half of the field.
Yeah.
And Hayden constantly was doing it the first half.
He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Unreal,
Absolutely brilliant.
He was unreal. I'll come on to him properly later, but we were winning the ball always in their half. Like literally, they were getting the ball, bang, we're hitting them, and we're just on them, and it was the best. I honestly think it was the best I've seen we play. Like,
so I actually had a couple of people send
First half.
First half, yes. First
So I had a couple of
half.
people send some stats in, Perez's stats from the back of last
Oh
week's
yeah,
podcast.
we're fucking gone.
I know you can manipulate stats, but these ones were saying, as an attacker, Perez has made the most tackles, the most interceptions, and it was something else
I cannot believe that for the life of me.
out of all of attacking players in the league.
Oh, that doesn't surprise us.
Is it because he's losing the ball that many times?
That's because he's having to win tackles because it's after his first touch when he loses or when he runs into three players.
Right, that's the last time you're going to badmouth him on this podcast.
It's not.
Mate. It's the last time you're going to badmouth on this episode of this
It's
podcast.
not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
You cannot.
What, you're going to have a go at him?
I'm going to have a go at him.
Hey,
Oh my
have
God.
a word, man.
I am.
We'll get on. I think he just does it for a
That's
reaction
ridiculous,
now.
that.
Just does it for a reaction.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, what's happened?
Just Game of Thrones crap. Nothing's happened.
Sorry. Sorry everyone.
Haven't watched it anyway.
The game itself, like I say from the start or from the off, unbelievable. It's just attacking left, right and centre. And even I said at the start of the game, like from the back five, well, whatever the formation is, normally we seem to get pegged back quite a lot, so it's a solid back five, and you struggle for those wing backs to get out. So Richie struggles, and whoever's on the right hand side, Perez at the time. Is it Perez? No.
Yes.
Would it be Perez?
Yeah.
What do you mean, sorry?
It's meant to be.
No, it's not.
No, what do you
It's not.
Do you mean defensively? You mean
Perez is on
Sorry,
our
Yedlin,
on the
you
right
mean?
hand side.
No, he means Yedlin.
Mankiw, so it'll be Mankiw.
Oh,
Defensive.
of the five, you mean? Yeah.
So normally they're just stuck solid out of five when under the pressure.
Yeah.
But from the first whistle, it was three. You could clearly see that at the very start of the game, obviously the second half.
They were saying that Southampton did actually have a chance early on in the game where I think it was either Redmond or Bertram
So the first
broke
few
down
minutes.
the left early on and broke into the box and cut it across to one of their players who was standing there basically unmarked on our left, and his shot was awful, but that was an early warning because we'd had a lot of ball and attack and stuff like that, but they just hit on the break.
In fairness to Southampton, I mean, they've got some decent players, I think. I mean, Ward-Prowse is good. You got Redmond, who's dangerous. Ings.
Yeah, well, the top.
There's a few players.
Bertrand, their left-hand side, Bertrand and.
The top 4 of the recent form over the last handful of weeks, because since the new managers came in, they've done quite well there.
We made them look so ordinary. It was unbelievable. In fairness to us, I thought our performance was, especially as I say, first half was absolutely. You couldn't wish for anything better.
We're putting them under a hell of a lot of pressure, not letting them have any time on the ball from the very front as well, because there was times when their centre backs got the ball and Rondon was straight onto them. There was a couple of times where they delayed on the ball a little bit, and he was closing them down, and we created a couple of half chances from it and stuff like that.
Even throughout the game, you saw them. They were controlling the ball quite a bit. Like obviously, the further the game went on, it was more and more, but they were quite calm on the ball. They were passing across defence, getting to midfield, and getting to like wingers. Then as soon as the wingers got the ball, it was working its way back to the keeper. I noticed that a few times.
Every time,
back to the keeper, and our players were just pushing up with it. Normally, we'd just sit back and invite it back again.
And we had a nice high pressure line from Rondon. Everybody was pressurising the ball, putting them under.
And I think that's where our goal came from. The first goal, maybe.
The first goal
came
from a fantastic
again,
block from Hayden, just about on the halfway line.
Before that first goal, obviously the major talking point of the game,
sending off,
was the break. Obviously, they're on the attack.
Awful, absolutely.
We
awful.
get the ball. It's played up. Almiron's got the ball. Everyone knows Almiron's speed. Every single referee must know Almiron's speed. The fact that Almiron's is it Ward-Prowse?
He beat Ward-Prowse with the touch. He just played the ball past him. And Rondon's away
in the centre
there.
circle, just run up. It's 2-on-1. It's 2-on-1.
Well, it's 2-on-1 with the keeper because if Prowse doesn't step across, and the worst thing for me is he steps across with his arms.
There's no intention. There's no intention to get the ball. No intention whatsoever.
But it's not like he just. What made it worse for me is he wasn't just blocking him, getting in his way.
He's trying to get.
It's the way he went across with his arm to do it.
Being a bit of a critic, Almiron should have probably knew his surroundings a little bit better and played that through to Rondon rather than running down the wing. If I'm being harsh,
I thought
I cannot see how he could have played that ball.
Rondon's just running with him, man.
But he had his back and almost just gets it, turns, knocks it past him to run.
That's just being harsh, mind.
Being very harsh.
Right, we'll get on to Perez later, mate. So obviously, the referee gives a yellow card.
Quickly as well, he did. Quickly.
Is out his pocket. Yeah. He was letting the players around him know that he wasn't getting sent off, so the card was straight out of his pocket.
Everybody was up in arms. The bench was up in arms. All of our players were up in arms, surrounded.
He
did got sent off.
You know what it is? Because I was sat next to the dugout side, because I'd give me ticket to someone else. So I was sitting down there. So I was right next to the dugout, and he didn't out. He did nothing. All he did was he didn't even leave the technical area. He's there, and he was having a go at the lines, the foot. Well, no, it was the linesman really. Like which.
There's a couple of our players
and this,
as well, wasn't it?
Well, I was bang on in front of him. Everybody where I was sitting was in absolute pelters to that linesman because
he didn't even flag.
Exactly.
Didn't even flag.
Exactly.
I think it was Adam.
So
how the linesman wasn't even given
how
that.
Can he not even see? Even all he had. He just didn't even flag. He didn't lift his flag. He make any attempt. He was running up the pitch.
I would like to know the decision if that was 10 yards either side of the
Well, apparently this was talked about on Match of the Day and on Goals on Sunday and all that kind of thing, saying because it was in our half of the pitch, it can't be classed as a goal scoring opportunity.
But how
which is an absolute joke.
Because he's last man.
Absolute joke.
You cannot blame the ref though if that's the law. If that's the rule, it's not the ref's fault. It's a sending off. In my opinion, it's a sending off because he is away.
See, I wasn't sure what you would be because, like, normally with red cards, you're quite lenient with red cards, aren't you?
I am. I thought it was a red as soon as it happened. Like,
did you?
I'll be honest. He was last man. You had two on the goalkeeper. Pretty much once he got past him.
I think
no one would have caught him. No one would have caught him.
It was a simple FIFA goal after that.
If he just stepped in front of him, blocked him off, or something like that, he would still be furious about it because he was the last man and the straight through one goal. But for me, it was the way that he stepped across with his arm up and almost elbowed, forearm smashed him into.
He was
gone.
He was away, man. He was away.
So,
and I think as I say, if the rules are that it's not a goal scoring opportunity if you're so far away from goal, then unfortunately for us, the refs made the right decision. But it's a shit one. It's a hard one. But
that's
take,
that's
but for the fan side, my opinion was at the time when it went as a yellow, the fans really.
It's really, a dangerous. It's not even a tackle. It's not a tackle or anything like that. He's intentionally.
I know.
Forearm smashed him in the face.
Well, you see, right? These fouls. I'm not saying forearm smash, but that type of foul happens every game, doesn't it? Where
a professional foul.
It's a professional foul, they call it, which is a terrible phrase, I think. But anyway, that's a yellow card. That was a professional foul with more, if that makes sense. So
well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you just stood in his way and said, "Run into us," I'm going to block you that way.
I thought he'd done
then
it. Then
fine. But for me, exactly. For me, arm across, right in the chops. That's shocking.
Yeah,
absolutely
once again,
shocking.
It's a decision that goes against her, which, like I just said, it gets a crowd up for the game even that little bit more. As soon as I would love something like that happen every single game, because when that happens, the crowd go and the atmosphere goes to the next level, and the players go to the next level as well. Because we've always said, even the likes of Perez plays better when a decision goes against him.
He's pissed off.
Normally, like solely on him. But with the full team being affected, from then on, it was just non-stop. It was just Newcastle, just non-stop.
And we scored pretty
Was it not so long afterwards?
It wasn't
after like 5 minutes or so.
So the goal came from, I think they were trying to clear it, and out of nowhere, Hayden just goes white.
Great tackle. Yeah, brilliant tackle.
Nessa just puts him straight. Is it someone who has that gets the ball first? Does it go straight?
No, it goes straight to Perez, who then came out onto the right, and then.
What a finish that was!
To be fair, he just snuck it in snuck it inside the post.
Absolutely amazing finish. I mean, he had no right to score.
It was similar. Remember Shoulders against Spurs.
Yeah. In all honesty, he kind of
go wide. He keeps on go wide and it just tucks in the corner.
He kind of like scuffed it into the net, and it like just bobbles in because it's so a centimetre the other way. It's hitting the post or out a centimetre the other way. They keep saving it, but it's just
great finish though. Great finish. You can't take anything away from.
Absolutely fantastic.
Because when he started running away from goal, I thought that's where chance gone made.
Yeah. And there was two defenders with him as well.
Goes through one of the legs, doesn't
he? He does well to finish it like from there.
Amazingly
fantastic, fantastic,
brilliant goal. And it was exactly what we deserved as well. I mean, going back to what you say about Hayden, God, I honestly think that was the best I've seen him play. And I sat here last week.
I've said that for the last few weeks.
Yeah, people have been going on about that. Nah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I've missed it. I'm not sure. He's been doing all right, but what he does. What I've seen him do, I'm thinking, yeah, you can get another player that does that. I really feel.
Would this Hayden get into the England team?
Absolutely not. But I was thinking when I watched that game and what you had said last week, we'll miss him, and I had says, no, we'll find a replacement. And I was thinking in my head, he's 24.
We will, but it'll cost a hell of a lot of money to do
for
it.
For what we'll sell him for, I think we'll find it hard to replace someone who can easily come and fit into the team.
Yeah,
and I know in the past,
you're not going to find somebody English to do that.
It just shows how fickle football fans are, because this, like at the start of the season, the Southampton reverse fixture is that the one he got sent off?
Yeah. So start of the season, he wasn't.
It was a Cardiff. We're saying should never play football again.
Because I truly believe up until that point, I don't think he had offered away anything. Even in the Championship season, I don't think he did that much then either.
That's harsh.
But you're slagging Perez off. You're going to slag Perez off.
I'm not going to slag him off.
He wasn't a standout player in the Championship.
No, but he still had
when we got promoted,
good games and performances.
We got promoted because of Hayden. No one said that. Even fucking Hayden Ma didn't say it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, based on that performance that he gives there, I would hate to lose him. Because I thought that was the best I have ever seen him play for us.
I would, once again, shows you how fickle we are.
It's going to add value to his fee for him going away.
Millions at a time, but
you think so?
It just shows how fickle I am as a football fan. Now, I'd rather have Hayden in there than Diame. And Diame's contract's coming to an end. Obviously, Hayden doesn't want to be here, so you can't even say who would you rather have, because Hayden doesn't want to be here, and for the right reasons. He's explained why he doesn't want to be here. Which is fair enough, okay.
But as we've sat here and said, a few times, he's gone about things in the right way. He's let his performances on the pitch dictate, what we think and feel about his request to leave. He's been faultless.
Do you think it's definitely done?
He's gone. I think he's gone.
Well,
no, he doesn't
He doesn't want to be here, but somebody has still got to come in and pay the money for him to go.
Someone will. They will, even if it's a.
Well, they should now, definitely now, based on his performances in this season. Is he going to be out in the arse end of nowhere
It's a lot
though?
closer to London than what we are, mate.
I bet you can get.
Yeah, it is.
I bet you can get
It is.
to London faster from here than you can Norwich.
Bollocks! I'm not having that.
What?
Bollocks!
How long does it take on the?
No,
on the
he's
train
driving.
or
He's not getting the train, mate. He's going to drive.
I don't drive from Norwich to London. It's
Norwich.
quite
There's
close.
one road in and one road out of Norwich.
I
It's
bet
a
it
nightmare.
takes about 2 hours from Norwich, max.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you think it takes 5 hours?
No, it doesn't take
I'll
5
find
hours.
this out, mate. Look on Google
It doesn't
Maps,
take
sorry,
5
guys.
hours, but
Go on A route planner and find out the distance it takes to get from Norwich. What time?
Distance-wise, yes, but what
Go
I'm
on the route planner.
Norwich
get a time
is in the
from-
arsehole of nowhere, isn't
from
it? It's a
Norwich to
difficult
London
place to get
and
to.
from Newcastle to London. I guarantee that Norwich people buy a good 2 hours.
Aye, by flying, but what I'm
no,
is like
driving. No,
driving, sorry, but by flying or plane. So if you got a flight,
well, mate, but he's not Superman.
or a train, you get from Newcastle to London in a couple of hours on the train. Half an hour on the
You know what
in
we
the
need to do?
plane.
We need to do like a Top Gear episode. Right, where
I would do.
me and him will start from Norwich, and you'll start from
Right.
Newcastle, and then we'll
If you're
drive.
driving,
That's what we're gonna
Right.
do.
if you're
Deal.
driving, it'll take
Deal.
a while, but
Right, so
Well,
we'll,
it's still a.
We have to do that.
we'll
now.
do that, right?
Me and Kris will drive from. We'll start in Norwich, and we'll like document it, and we'll be having a pint, having a meal or something, and you'll be plodding along from Newcastle. It's
be
gonna
like-
be quicker.
He'll be Clarkson. He'll be Clarkson, won't he? Like struggling along his car, mate, and he'll just have a couple of pints.
Aye, that's what we're gonna do.
Right, do you know the distance now?
Newcastle, London's 4 hours.
So Newcastle, London's 4 hours driving.
Norwich to London's 2.5.
2.5.
Aye, but
I want it's quicker. It's an hour and a half
nah, but
quicker.
it's not like it's half an hour away.
It's an hour and a half. So it's
But if it's
3
two and a
hours
half
each-
hour,
like,
2.5
max.
hour drive from there, it's the same as getting the train from here. He's not going to drive from Newcastle to London, is he?
That's what he said he's been doing.
Fucking idiot.
Because he keeps saying he looks.
Why does he get the fucking train, stupid cunt?
It's because so the reason he's doing it is because his daughter wasn't well, and his daughter's having lots of hospital visits, and that he's seen it wasn't fair on her going
Well, it's
back and
not,
forward. Fair enough, it's not, of course, 100%.
Just move
Mark's
on,
got
yeah.
gone on a fucking train. Jesus Christ.
Just move him up here. You've got all the money in the world.
No, that I think they're up here.
What's the problem?
They're travelling to London for the hospitals. That she needs to go to because there's something wrong with her. I think that's what the problem was. So they want to be close at London.
Ah, right. That's a bit different then. So
I'm
it's,
sure that that's what it was.
Was not his lass and kid lives down there?
That's what I
and
thought
he's
it was.
having to go down to see her and that.
That's what
Is
I
that
thought
not what
it
it
was.
is?
Either way, he's
She's
still
going
having
to
to travel.
hospital for the rest of her life, like, bless her, has she?
I don't know. Like she's
That
had some,
would be awful,
she had
that,
something like wrong with her, like seriously wrong with her.
That's sad, that way. So,
So obviously, either way, he's still like if it was us, we would want to be with our kids if that was going on.
oh,
It doesn't make
cool.
any
That's
difference.
it.
because
You
he's a
can't
professional footballer.
fault him for his reasons for wanting to do. He's putting his family
But
ahead
Mark's
of-
words advice
ahead
is
of
get the
yourself.
train.
Well, it is.
Or fly.
Don't go to Norwich.
It's
get
common
the train
sense.
or fly.
Or fly. Get Ashley's helicopter. Baby.
Jesus.
But when you think about getting rid of him, so right, okay, so he's gone, right? All right, he's going to be gone, right? Now, do you think that we can we? Is there someone out there that can be as good as Hayden for us?
Yes.
You're gonna have to
There is,
find
yeah.
somebody in
There is.
a European league.
Yeah, 100%.
Before
I don't
Brexit.
doubt that there is because he's not a world beater. So
He's not.
I
is
don't doubt there
he?
is.
He was very.
Oh,
good
you're
at that.
slagging him off now.
No, I'm not slagging
Hey,
him
you've
off.
just been saying he's great.
I'm not slagging him off.
He
I'm
is
just saying
good.
that he's replaceable, but not for the money that we're going to spend.
Has to be.
Because that'll take a big chunk out of
And that's-
what we've got to spend.
That's a lot of the issues. You know, we sold him for we bought him for not a lot of money from Arsenal because he was a good young prospect, and he's shown that he. You know why we brought him in the first place, because he's had a run in the team, he's been putting his performances in, and you know,
He
all credit
was
to him.
fantastic the first start. Honestly, he was fantastic.
So alongside him was Key, and it was one of Key's better games recently. He hasn't set the world alight since he's came back.
He was all right. He was all right.
He was key, wasn't he? Kept everything ticking over,
I think he's
kept
just
it moving and stuff
one of
like
the
that.
players that had a decent steady game. Nothing stand out.
Tidy on the
didn't
ball.
Really do anything
He
wrong.
give it away a few times the second half, I thought, in dangerous
I think the
areas.
full team just dropped the second half, but we'll get on that a bit later. Why? But obviously, the second goal comes, and it's another Perez one.
Well,
It is
before that, for me, because it was right out on the left-hand touchline, just on about halfway, and Richie comes in, and probably in all honesty, it was a bit of a clearance kind of thing, but he plays a ball down the line to Rondon, and Rondon from that moment on, he makes that goal. He's run down the line and he's ball across the
I have
box.
to disagree slightly. Perez makes that goal. Because if Perez doesn't make that run, the goal doesn't happen.
So there, yeah.
Because I always think if someone plays a great pass, it also must have been a good run from someone. And Perez gets in that position within, I think it's 6 seconds apparently. And I haven't seen Perez be that hungry to get in that type of position, perhaps ever. To be honest,
and to show the pace that he did, because he was up against Bertram, wasn't it? Who's no slouch.
No, he's not. No.
And I think, I don't know whether Perez just catches him by surprise, and he's paced to get past him. But again, all credit to him, he gets there. But Rondon's ball,
did amazing. It was absolutely perfect. It was like a bit like Shearer used to be like that, where he knows exactly what a striker would want, if that makes sense, and he put it in the perfect area. Whether or not Perez meant that like sort of downward hit to then bounce.
I think he just gets something on it.
But
he's just trying to hit it, isn't he? He's trying
tremendous,
to hit it. Yeah,
absolutely tremendous.
That's what beats the keeper, though. It's the bounce that beats the keeper.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
it's the floor and bounces
over.
Down
the keeper just looks like that. It's over him.
Tremendous.
But it cut out the defenders and the keeper from that pass for me is just incredible.
But then we've got to go back and look at Almiron, and once again Almiron, we're said in the past Richie's got the ball and we've noticed that he hasn't given the ball. But once again, he's taking defenders out of equations
all the time.
So every single time that ball's coming in with a defender less, because Almiron's gotten fucking halfway down the pitch somewhere else.
Was he not the other one that was out on the touchline with Richie? Because it was two of their players and two of ours.
Almiron spends most of his time running to a corner flag, and he takes a defender with him.
Well, I counted 4 times on that game in the first half anyway, where he ran to the corner and took 2 away. Which meant Rondon was literally standing going to skid it.
Yeah.
Like, because he's just in to take it up like front.
That's it for me. It's his direct, because he just gets the ball and he goes at either at the defenders or towards goal or drags players away to allow them.
Really good first half as well, didn't he? He
Again, Borry's attempts on goal.
Well, he nearly scored with one. The one he crossed, the goalkeeper got.
That was a decent effort. That was
a good effort.
So I think was Perez that was running in. And obviously, Almiron looks up as if the keeper's thinking he's going to pass it back across goal. In the last minute, he has a shot. It's a great save by the keeper. Because that's just burying in the top corner. That it's just straight over the keeper.
He did another one where I think he picked it up. We sort of broke. I think he picked it up halfway. The keeper got it.
The keeper just picks it up.
But he got into the box from the halfway line.
It was a good run.
I could not believe how fast he got into the box from when he picked the ball up to getting in the area.
He just kind of seemed to connect and strike the ball.
Well, he has
properly at the minute.
We got a goal from it, which by all accounts that's an assist from him. That was a hell of a strike. So he's obviously got it.
He just kind of put it together at the minute.
Where he's cutting in from the left once again, and he's just dribbling past players. He's turning them into knots. And he tries to put it through the keeper's legs.
The keeper gets it. That was the one I meant. That was the one I was meaning just before. I know which one you meant, where he went to shoot in and he just scuffed it. The one I was on about was that one where he picks it up out wide and literally gets into the area within seconds. He's in the box.
Defenders are scared to tackle him, and that going back to a few weeks ago when he first signed around, when we're talking about the amount of fouls he draws and stuff like that, you can see why, because he just has it at his feet and goes at them.
Well, he got a few dodgy challenges in the first half.
Not after the first, just not long after the first one, he got another one in the centre. In the centre circle, I can't remember who it was. Someone just clattered him, wiped him out. It was a free kick. I don't think he got booted for a player, but it could have easily been a yellow card for that one.
And that was very soon after the.
Yeah, it wasn't long after.
It wasn't long because the fans were already pissed off, and then that happened, and more like, "Come on, get him off," type of thing. You know what I mean? So it was,
But 2 goals within 3 minutes of each other, and it just.
Yeah. I agreed. It was fantastic.
Goal players just came alive.
It could have been more in the first half. So you go in 2-0. Obviously, you're laughing. It's a good position to be in for us. A lot of people say 2-0 is a horrible scoreline to have, but Jesus
it was.
Christ.
It worked out to be. It was. I think.
Yeah. So we struggled. We'll come out of the second half, and from the off.
Yeah.
Southampton are just.
Well, they made 2 changes, didn't they? Brought 2 players on.
They brought an extra man in
changed their shape, and that's where.
When did they get the
first
game
goal? Went.
It was 60 odd
60 odd minutes.
Because I remember the score.
Great finish.
Man. I mean, but to be fair, they'd had a host of chances before then.
So they make it 2-1. Then it's a great finish. To be fair, he just took that. Britain has no chance.
I think it was frustrating.
We invited it once again.
Yeah, it was frustrating how he take nothing away from the finish. I mean, that was a tremendous goal, but
players are.
I remember the break itself, and I was just thinking they just went through nice.
Can
I ask you a question? Oh. Sorry, Kris.
Do they cut down the left?
Did they cut down the left?
I'm sure they come from the left.
Yeah, so our right hand side.
Yeah, don't slide.
No.
I'm sure they come from down the left.
It was from my side, which is our left. Our left, they're right.
You sure?
I am positive.
Are you sure?
I'm sure it comes from.
Maybe not as positive.
I can guarantee you
I'm
it
sure
came
comes
down
down
our
their left or our right.
our right hand side.
Because I think at the end it's Mankiw and
Because-
Cells that are getting confused. I think
Nah, you're wrong.
it's a Mankiw and someone
As-
else. It's a Mankiw. It's one of them.
I'm right, aren't I? It was on our
Is it
left.
our left?
It's our left,
Wasn't?
Because it's where I was sitting. And it came along and then he just got it. Right. Well, just keep talking and I'll have a look.
I've got no idea.
Keep talking.
I was pretty confident that was their left. That
It was
came
their
from.
left, our right hand side, 100%.
To be fair, well, I've been out since 1 o'clock, so we may have been
100%.
wrong. But a few
Because
points, like.
as good as Perez was in the first half, he was back to what he was doing in the other games. Of as soon as they're attacking us, because they were constantly coming down our right hand side, because there was acres of space, because Perez was tucked inside, leaving Mankiw totally exposed by Redmond and Bertram.
But when Perez is putting in performances like that going forward, then he can do whatever the hell he wants.
But he can it because
He can.
how many chances did they then get? Because they had 2 or 3 chances around that goal that they scored, and they all
To
came
be
down
fair,
that same side.
When we're playing, I don't really mind how many chances like teams are getting, because most of the chances again are outside the box.
But they put them in there, winning 3-2.
So would you don't want any team to have a chance when they come at Newcastle?
No, but what I'm saying is, I cannot fault him for what he was doing in the first half and his forward play during that game. But when you're playing in that position, when you're not on the attack,
Attacking left
you
midfield.
need to do more.
So what Almiron's doing on the other side.
Exactly.
But then
And Almiron does.
Perez doesn't have the same
Almiron do, exactly.
engine as well.
Almiron does a hell of a lot more because he's got more stamina and stuff like that. But I expect more for you to actually at least try and get out to a player, try and block a run or something like that, not just to allow your left back and your left winger just to double up on your right back, which is what was happening.
That goal definitely comes from that side of the field. I've got it in my head again here. He'll find it though. But
The amount of chances that were coming, everything that they created at the start of the second half was coming down our right hand side.
But it always does.
It does
What does that tell you?
because Yedlin's shite.
But why?
I know Mankiw's playing,
But there's
But
Yedlin's going to get
getting
so much pressure put on him because of what's in front of him.
Yeah, but their left hand side's Burton and Redmond.
Which is why is somebody on the right.
Look,
I can't see the lights.
it's our side of the field, like my side.
Right?
Look, watch. Yeah, but look across the left-hand side.
It goes across the
look
left,
at
doesn't
that.
it?
How many players are there? 3.
No, that's the right. That comes from the right hand side.
The ball comes from the right across to the left, where there's 3 of their players waiting.
So you expect Perez to be on the edge of our own box?
I expect Perez to follow those 3 players that have
Is
come from their
Almiron?
own half.
Absolute bollocks.
Almiron's tracking the ball.
Freeze that and see where Almiron is.
Bollocks. There's no way Perez should be back there.
So you're
No way. Hayden should be there.
but if
King should be
their
there.
left back's there,
We've already got 5 at the back, man.
if their left back's there, why isn't our supposed right midfielder there?
I would be shocked to see Perez back there. Like, Almiron.
But why should you be shocked to see him?
Because he's an attacking right midfielder.
To be fair, we've seen Rodden on there sometime this season.
I honestly would be. I'd be shocked. Is Perez even there?
He needs to track back.
Is Almiron
He
there?
needs to attempt to do something.
Almiron's not there either.
Must be a ninja at that time, was he? We'll
No,
get on to that.
he's
So
not already got off
Southampton
that.
get the goal.
I think that's a big.
Takes it.
The amount of chances that came down because there was so much space out on their left is ridiculous.
Is that just you being a little bit harsh though?
I think the chances came because we were just shit scared on the ball for some reason. The first half we were passing it around. For some reason we just started going direct.
That goal has just showed you that the amount of space that was down that left hand side.
But it come from the right.
So it came to the right into the.
So hang on. So, all right. So the goal,
all
the
of
shot
the players
itself,
are there.
the shot itself happens on the left. I'll admit that I've seen it. But what about stopping the ball from getting to that place?
There's 5 people around the ball. They're attempting to close it down.
So what do you need Perez for? If there's 5 there, what do you need 6 for?
I need Perez to stop those 3 players that are coming totally unmarked up the pitch.
So what about the other side of the field where the balls eventually come from? Why isn't? Because that's stopping it. Why is Almiron not stopping it?
Because they were there trying to stop it.
But they didn't though. Because the balls come from that side and then went over to the Perez's side, as you're saying.
Yeah.
Which wasn't. It was fucking nearly the middle of the box. But it fucking nearly was like. But I'm sorry, you've got a back 5 and you've got Dion. Apologise. You've got Hayden.
They had 4 up front in the second half. So that's taking control of those 5.
You've got 5 at the back. You've got 3 centre halves.
We did basically have back.
You've got 5 at the back. Then you've got.
How much effort does it take to run back from the halfway line to inside of your own half or to the edge of your own box?
Then you can flip around and say that rules out any counter-attack football, really. if you've got everyone defending our half.
But when you've got their team streaming forward on you,
you wouldn't have seen Ginola there. Ginola wouldn't have been on the edge of your own box putting Roy Keane tackles in. It's not his position.
I'm not expecting him to do that. What I am expecting to do is exactly
right. So
track the run. You cannot just let 3 players stroll past you.
How many players have got on the left hand side?
Three players waiting for that ball.
So they've got 2 left backs and a winger by the sounds of it.
They've got 3 players standing there waiting for that ball.
Right, but that's not just Perez's fault, surely.
But that's his position.
What, to mark 3 men?
So no, but at least pick up one of them. So if if their left winger Redmond, who's going to pick him up? The right back Manquillo. So then you've got their left back player.
Right.
Who's going to pick him up?
Possibly. Yes.
That is what I'm saying.
But if that doesn't happen though, one of your centre midfielders just steps out wide. Size got a D.
But the centre midfielders are already trying to cut the ball out on the other side, which is why it's even more important. If you're looking at the goal in front of the pitch in front of you, you can see, I
think you're being harsh.
Everybody's over there. What about these players that are here with I'm standing next to?
If that had been Almiron, I don't think you would have mentioned it. If that had come from this side of the field, where apparently the ball originally come from, I haven't seen Almiron yet. It hasn't been on the picture. I honestly feel if it had been the other way around, you wouldn't have even said a thing about him tracking back.
Was Almiron injured at this time?
No, he wasn't injured.
I don't think so.
No. So right, we're not going to agree on that. We're not going to agree on that, right?
No, we're not.
So
Almiron
gets injured.
It's the same as I said a couple of weeks ago when again he had a very good game, but when we're under the
stats say tackles more than any other attacker, runs back more.
That. Does he run back more than any other attacker?
I didn't say it.
That's
whatever it was.
Whether they're classing that as a striker,
it was attacking players.
But that's.
And you
know what I mean.
Are they comparing him to bloody? I don't know.
No, all attackers. Anyone.
Might be like Salah, Hazard. You're not going to see Salah or Hazard in them positions.
So that Everton winger, what's he called?
Oh, the guy.
Rick
him. So he was like second or something.
Yeah.
He's
a hard working player, isn't he? He's hard working.
Perez was like top on every single list, I think.
I'm not expecting to. Well, I'd love it if he did do it. Bust his arse to get back and put a tackle in, but at least track your man.
So would I.
At least track your man. Don't just let the players stroll past you. You can, when you watch the replay, watch it back. You'll see him standing still, just inside of our own half, as 3 players run past, and he makes no attempt whatsoever to jog back.
I haven't seen it. I'll have to watch it again. But you don't know what's happened before that. I can't remember either. But he might have just beat 3 men and been absolutely clotheslined, and he hasn't got the fucking energy to get back. Perhaps. I'm not saying that's the case either.
You kind
of just run for 90 minutes of a game.
Jog back. Make a token effort to try.
But then you would just piss and moan saying that. Well, look at this. He's trying to. Remember, I used to always say he's trying to look busy.
Look at him.
He's trying to look busy. And
stick his foot out.
Exactly.
You fucking said exactly the same. He loves to dangle his foot.
But then the next breath you're saying, well, just jog back. Well, that's not good enough, is it? Like, because you'll say, look at him trying to jog back, trying to look like he's trying.
Right. So after that, right.
Sorry,
moving on from Perez, right. Moving on.
That's the only criticism around those games.
And
it's the same criticism.
Mark, let it go. Moving on from Perez, right? The injury comes out.
How many times have you watched it?
It's not good enough.
So Almiron's the first one to get injured out of our key players, isn't he?
Oh, shite.
So he goes down, he knows straight away.
You know what we did mention
Perez
is just
Perez on the left.
Before they scored when it was 2-0. Key.
No,
stroke down the left hand side, and swear to God that
come back.
I was right behind that ball. That was in.
So I thought in my head
that was
in 2-1, but it was
no, that was a 2-0
shot.
So he braves it off the keeper's left hand post,
and
it rattles the post. The power he hits.
I was like literally, I was over the seats in front of us, like full on St James's Park shin, because I thought it was in.
Unbelievable strike.
I've no idea how it stayed out, because watching it in real time, it looked as if it had to just go across the line or something like that, but it actually comes quite a way back out. But
so obviously from that, it's only a few minutes later, isn't it, that they go down?
They get up the other end.
So they go make it 2-1, great finish. Then obviously Almiron injury comes. From that injury, he's ready to come on. Atsu, it's not Atsu's fault, but as soon as Almiron goes off the pitch, we'll go back to Newcastle before December.
I'm going to be honest, I thought we started like that in the second half. Almiron didn't do fuck all that second half. Like, it didn't do anything that second half. I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying the whole team were different that second half.
It wasn't us that. Us were different. It was them. Their
Do you
change
think
of
it took us a while to
formation.
adjust to their formation?
They basically they pushed up. They went and packed out the midfield, but every time they broke with numbers, and they'd have a line of 4 up front because Redmond went up and played up top alongside.
Well, then you think if that key goal goes in,
it's game over.
It's 3-0.
Game over.
And we go on a batter them.
That would have been against the run of play at that time. Like
if that goes 3-0 up, we go on to absolutely annihilate them.
And that's the margins in football, isn't it? You know what I mean? As you say, we could have went 3-0 up and went 2-1.
They were on top of us at that point.
It goes to 2-1. Obviously, Almiron goes off injured. He's going out. It's game out now. He's out for 3 weeks. He's gone for the rest of the season. He was
absolutely good at that.
So I think I'm sure we're still 2-1 up. Then they get another chance, and Dubravka pulls off an unbelievable save. So I think it's a header.
They had a one from a
Dubravka saves it from a corner.
Was it not a volley from that from the centre half?
I might be wrong, but I think
is it Chinese or Korean or something?
Was that not? I think we were 3-1 up. You know, at that point.
Well, 3-1.
I think we were 3-1. Then he did that save, which was unbelievable. Like,
is it?
I
can't remember what it was.
He did 2 saves, but that
was it Japanese or Korean? Yoshida.
Oh fuck that!
Yoshida.
Didn't know his name.
Don't know, mate. You've just
Yoshida
in the world.
I think before that, in fairness, Hayden had one of the best strikes he's ever had. It come like a volley just came out. And their keeper pulled off a worldie to save that. I think it took a bit of a slight deflection perhaps, but what a save that was to keep that out.
It was just one of them games where it could have been like 8-4 to us or something like that.
Next talk about Shaw's injury. Another one looks the same as Almiron. Straight away he goes down. He's straight.
Shaw was struggling from the first half.
Did you see his dribble he went on again?
Taking the piss out every time he gets it. He's unreal.
I love how confident.
Do you know what it is though? Like you flip it, and this is what pisses off about football pundits. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, which is great for us.
It's amazing.
Great for us because it keeps everyone else away. But Van Dijk does that. You fucking don't get the end of it.
Aye.
You do not have any of it.
But he's so underrated.
He was faultless, you know. I thought that game. I thought he was faultless.
Like
until he went off.
What did Liverpool? He was 75 million for Van Dijk.
Big money.
He was struggling with that injury for quite a while.
How who's the fucking
bogging of the century? That like
he's unreal, isn't he? I said the first time I ever seen him play. Watford won it at home when he came on half time for Lascelles or whatever it was. Unreal.
But it's another one where it's an injury that's brought a player in. And look at what he's done since. He's first name in the team sheet for me, like him and Richie, closely followed by Richie.
I love Richie.
How good was Richie?
He was
min Richie.
We'll get on to Richie later because I think there's a question about Richie. Jeez, he's irreplaceable. We mentioned Hayden. Like, could we replace him for the money that we're bringing? Can we replace Richie for God knows how much money?
No way. You might get someone
that's shown that
that's the
dedication and anger at everything possibly going.
He was kicking off.
He didn't even score.
Did you see when he scored? I was going to say he kicked the corner.
We'll talk about the third goal. The ball comes out. I thought
Richie again.
Well, I thought it was Fernandez at the time.
Well, before that, Rondon had one cleared off the line.
Oh, he did. That's right. He did, didn't he? Yes. God, that was a real mix-up. That was quite weird.
I think it was Diarmi headed one in.
I can't even remember that one.
I forgot until he said.
No, Rondon cleared it off the line.
That's right. So that could have been another one.
So the goal itself, like it does turn out, it is Richie that goes. That's going in, no matter what. I think Richie's header's going in anyway.
Diarmi did very, very well there as well because the ball came out the edge of the box and he like kind of skipped out to the right and dinked it into. I think it was Rondon who then put it back into the middle, didn't he? And Richie came in with that flying header. And Perez was a cheeky little shit, like to
it doesn't matter,
steal that.
If we're scoring goals like that, because that makes it. Richie says here there's a 70% chance that that's going the ball. Yeah. As soon as Perez, even if it's a slight flick that goes in, the keeper's already away. He's already diving. As soon as Perez gets a slightest touch on that, it's in.
He has to do it. Has to react.
Any striker that does that's clever. Perez.
Richie's diving header was mint though. He was like literally full length in the pitch.
But it just shows the team spirit right now because Richie's the first one over there, like celebrating, like chuffed a bit. Obviously, it's Perez's hat.
Well, the keeper was coming over for it, so. The keeper could maybe have saved it. I think it probably would have went in, but then obviously it's just a reaction, isn't it, from Perez? Flicks at the other.
It's fantastic.
Other way, the keeper's got no chance.
It's so quick, and for him, he obviously does a striker know that the keeper's already diving, or is it just
it's just instinct.
I don't even think it was looking.
It could have been anybody standing there, and the ball's coming in. You just help it on. It's just a natural reaction, isn't it?
It's another great finish and a great. And I've always said when Perez doesn't have the time to think about it, it's when he's the best striker.
Well, you go back to last week, the Leicester game, the 1-1-0 he scored. What a header that was, man.
Great
what
header.
a header. And as you say, no time to think about it, it's just reactionary. And he scored a hat-trick again this week. I mean,
So the stats come in at the end of the game on Match of the Day and they're saying that I might be wrong in regards to figures, but Perez has scored, I think was it 7? I've got 7 and 10, the figures in my head. How many has he scored this season?
10,
10.
I think. Over 10.
So they're saying that 7 of those 10 goals are since Almiron's arrived.
Oh, aye, they did say something along those
Something
lines.
like
Yeah.
that. And it just shows you, like, 75% of his goals have came since Almiron's came in.
Well, we chatted, I think, last week, and you mentioned about, like, well, a big team wouldn't come in for Perez, like a big club. And I'd said, like...
Talks about international call-up now.
You never know in regards to, like, when a player plays with better players, it makes them better. And Almiron's come in and it's made him way better.
Yeah,
so you imagine if he was in a real team.
He
I'm
has,
not saying he's,
he has, there's no doubt about it, but
pushing a pudding.
you go back a year ago, it was the same story. Perez was scoring goals this time last season.
He does
it every single season he comes. And that's part of the frustration with him, is that he only does it at the end of the season.
Kennedy coming out at the end of last season.
He came in the January.
I can't believe how shit he is. Like, sorry, I was just... Fucking Kennedy, man. Anyway,
So who were the subs that came on? Obviously Fernandez came on.
Atsu came on, Fernandez came on.
Who was the other one?
Diome.
For Hayden, which was a surprise. I thought it was going to be key, because I thought he was going to just try and shut up shot a bit, but he brung Hayden off, which was surprising.
Well, Hayden, just
I think
before he got
Hayden was
subbed off,
struggling a bit, wasn't he?
He started holding his leg. He made a fuck up, didn't he? Just before
he had his lie down. He always has a lie down.
He always has
and I
lie
just
down.
laughed from him. He's having a lie down.
Always has lie down. Yeah. But back results, it was another 3 points. Fantastic 3 points, because obviously if Southampton had won that, they would have leapfrogged us, put us in a horrible position once again. But
we rode the storm a bit. The start of the second half, but then
you kind of in the Premier League game, you're not going to be able to probably have a game where you're in control of it for 90 minutes. There's always going to be. Southampton couldn't have gotten any worse. So I said to my dad, I said to my dad, I was sitting there and went, half time's come at the worst time possible for us. Like, we didn't want that whistle. Because them can't get any worse than that. Do you know what I mean? And they come out with a bit more fire, didn't they, to be fair? They were better, a lot better, and we couldn't really adapt.
We mentioned in the second half there saying they had a few chances. We had just as many.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So
we came back into it, and again, we then finished very, very strongly.
I have to mention, I thought Dummett was absolutely
great. Fantastic. He was an unsung hero in that game, because
he really was. He
was blocking everything, heading and everything.
Everything.
He's not a standout player until after the game, when you sit down and go, Jesus Christ, he did have a good game.
Well, I'm a bit daft for you. I'll always it sounds really stupid to say this. I used to say about more, when they do something, I say, well in Dummett, or you know what I mean? I'll say the name of the person.
You just expect it.
And my dad said, you've said his name about 100 times a day, and I said, well, he must be doing well then, because he did one in the first half. I remember that one of their players got in. It was almost going to be one-on-one, but Dummett just came across and he followed that man, the full length, because normally players would follow him so far and go, oh well,
Perez would watch him in training.
It's somebody else's job now, but he followed him all the way. At the second half, then put in some really dangerous balls, and he won every single header, every single one. There was one where it could have been an own goal. It came literally in the 6-yard box, about a yard out from goal. It was just Dummett there, and he dived and headed it away for a corner. I mean, it's easy to put that in your own goal.
Well, there was a bit where Dubravka and Richie got a bit of a confusion, didn't they? Left the ball
he thought
for each other, didn't they?
Yeah, so but that spin on the ball is horrible, because it bounces on the line, then it comes back over.
Yeah, and
Lamina, wasn't it? He came on. He was very good.
Literally going like that, just leave it, then it bounces back over.
Do you think Redmond was a right prick? Did you think? He's moaning all the time, whinging.
Yeah.
He threw the ball at Richie loads of times. Well, Richie went a bit higher on him, didn't he?
Did Redmond used to play for Norwich? Is that him?
That's him, yeah.
So is that the one that had a massive goal last time he was playing on the left hand wing? I seen James.
Didn't play for Norwich, no?
No, that was awesome.
Was that awesome?
Nah, he's been. I think he's been at Southampton for years.
It was someone playing on Norwich on the left hand side. Jesus Christ, he was giving the shit to the fans.
I'm sure that he had.
Darren Huckabee.
Gone. I wasn't even with
that.
Anything else to add?
No. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, amazing.
Great points. It almost secured safety. Obviously, it was the Cardiff Liverpool game that done that anyway. But after that 3 points, you knew it was safe. It was Premier League football. Which let's put a reminder on this.
Well.
There's a lot of people celebrating that we're playing Premier League football, but that's the bare minimum that we should be expecting.
You know what I was celebrating the most? The fact that I got signal within St James's Park and could cash out me bet at 2-0.
How How do you get signal stages before?
Oh, God knows, but I was on drying for ages and I got on there.
I've got Wi-Fi.
Get you in the Tory club.
I'll give you a little secret after this.
No, it's not if I've got it, but he can give you some.
I'll give you a little secret. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking the videos as always. Thanks for I nearly got through the full podcast without stuttering. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Plenty more videos coming.
Like and share.
Well, won you now.
Bye.